did something recently that I'm not proud of, but I'm not ashamed enough to not talk about it. So, we have one bathroom in my household because we're not rich yet. We'll never be rich. We've never been prominently rich. The most we've ever had was one bathroom for, let's say, 16 bodies. Not people, bodies. As I once heard people referred to. Just like, all that matters is that meaty part. You have no soul, essentially. So I did that before. So I comprehended that, you know what? Sometimes when you have to use the restroom or the lavatory, you just have to, you know, time manage. It's a time management task, really, when you have that many people living in one household. But I found it much more difficult nowadays that I live only with my parents and my sister. And I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but, you know, it doesn't paint me in the greatest light living still with my parents, but that's okay, I don't give a fuck. I don't know any of you watching this, so no attachment here. So, I'm waiting to use the bathroom, and my mom goes in, right? I'm like, give or take, you know, if she's brushing her teeth, whatnot, fuck it. It'll be 5-10 minutes, right? Like, she really scrubs. Like, she believes that you should waste. I say waste because I don't necessarily see the benefit, and I don't see how I'll avoid any dental enamel from building up all that, like, gingivitis, really, from wasting 2 minutes dedicated to every tooth every night and every morning and midday. That, at least if I factor it all in, adds up to about 2 hours a day that I've wasted in the bathroom. Valuable time for another individual to use it. I'm just thinking, you know, collectively about everyone here. So I don't believe in my mother's ethos, but I respect that she believes in what she believes. So I say nothing. Then my father goes in, he takes a shower, right? And I had just drunk like 8 fucking bottles of water. Because we go to Costco to buy like a shitload of Poland Spring. Because we don't necessarily trust tap water, even though it's the same fucking thing. We just, for some reason, we like the velvet allure, sort of plastic encasing what we're drinking out of. We feel a security attachment to the trees on the little label. We just do. And if most of the time we buy the Kirkland labeled one, which doesn't have any real pictures. But it's cheaper, so that's where we go with. So my dad finishes taking a shower, and I'm just like, yes, I can piss now. And my sister goes and takes a shower. For some strange reason, my sister takes the most to take a shower. She is 14. I understand that she has a lot of hair on her head. I mean, the only way I can assume that she can take up to an hour and a half is quite literally if she applies my mother's both ideologies onto her hair instead of her mouth. In which case, I believe maybe she has over, let's say, a little bit over 1,000 strands of hair. So, if she really wanted to do a good job and accurately go with what our mom taught us, then she'd be there all fucking week. But, luckily, she doesn't necessarily do that. Unfortunately, an hour and a half is a really long time to wait to take a piss. So I'm there, in my fucking room, as I am now. Not necessarily this calm, and I'm sitting on the edge of my fucking bed, and I'm thinking, I could piss in a water bottle, and then, like, obviously, the whole, like, male ego thing kicks in, and it's like, my shit doesn't fit in a water bottle. Too big to fit in that little crevice. And then I'm, like, starting to brainstorm, and it's like, I've heard of people pissing in the sink, but that's usually when they're alone, so I don't see that working out well. That's like trying to nail a pie, and not getting caught, you know? It just doesn't happen. So, I start thinking, and I start thinking a little bit more and more and more. And I just come to the conclusion, you know what? I have a window in my fucking room. Turn the lights off, close the door, I'm just gonna fucking piss out of it, alright? And you're not thinking logically here. Biology starts kicking in, and it just starts saying, yeah, that's a great fucking idea, alright? You're just, at worst, you're gonna look like one of those European fountains with the angels. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, you know? Just go, Mario, just go, just do it. Just kneel on the radiator at a certain angle, which you don't actually fall out, you know? you actually, you cause a stream to develop. Okay, okay. And I'm not really thinking. I'm already at the point where I'm outside the window, just standing right there, and I'm like, okay, not falling, not falling. You gotta have, like, I wasn't grip. Let's just assume this was the microphone. The microphone was like my reproductive organ, right? And so I'm just like holding on one side, just trying to, like, you know, not catch a breeze and fucking swoop over. Because it's a very high fall. If I live on the second floor out of 3 floors, considering that the second floor technically is the top floor, and the first floor is the bottom floor, and the basement is the last floor, if I fall all the way to the bottom, I don't think any paramedic or the people that really try to engineer Humpty Dumpty back together again, I don't think they can do a good job on me. But I'm not worried about this, because at this point, I am already free as a fly, okay? I am just liberated. I am releasing this toxin building up in my urethra, alright? I am just like, oh, this is brilliant. Oh, yes. Yes. And then my mom started talking. She's like, what are you doing in there? Like, what is going on? And I'm like, don't come in, please. Because that's really the worst thing that probably, a little bit worse, that your mother could catch you doing. Like, anything else, you could, like, probably understand how it's just biology, hormones, you know. But visiting out the window is some sort of voyeur shit that you don't necessarily do. It's like an exhibitionist sort of feel to it all. So the lesson learned here was, when you do it, make sure you have a key for the door you're doing it in. You're gonna lock. But yeah, just a tidbit.